Hello and welcome back to Hooray for Hollywood. My name is Wayne Yorke, and today we're at the very loud Universal City Walk right outside Universal Studios, looking back at this beautiful neon sign created by the Museum of Neon Art, which reads, "Through these portals pass the most beautiful girls in the world." It's a tribute to the famous Earl Carroll Theatre, which used to be on Sunset Boulevard and may be making a comeback. Let's find out some more. Earl Carroll was an American theatrical producer, writer, director, composer, and songwriter. He produced and directed several successful revues on Broadway, most notably the Earl Carroll Vanities, which was full of popular songs and showgirls. Now, to give you an idea of what the showgirls wore as costumes or didn't wear, Earl was nicknamed the Troubadour of the Nude and was also attributed with creating pasties. Now, if you don't know what those are, you'll have to look that up on your own. With the success of his Broadway shows, Earl Carroll was able to bring his creative talents to Hollywood and create the Earl Carroll Theatre at 6230 Sunset Boulevard, or as it was nicknamed, an entertainment palace. The Earl Carroll Theatre, a glamorous supper club and theater, opened with a lavish revue called Broadway to Hollywood on December 26, 1938. In attendance for the opening was Marlene Dietrich, Claudette Colbert, David O. Selznick, Daryl Zanuck, Betty Grable, Errol Flynn, Jackie Coogan, and many, many more. The show featured 60 showgirls on an enormous stage that had a 60-foot turntable with an inner and outer section that operated separately, 100 treads of stairs that were 135 feet in the air. There was also a water curtain, an orchestra pit lift, a small circular lift downstage center for a soloist, and a revolving tower of 4 pianos on stage right. Let's take a look. On the exterior was a famous wall of fame with celebrity autographs inscribed in cement blocks. Also on the exterior was a 24-foot-high neon portrait of Earl Carroll's longtime partner, Beryl Wallace, which read, as we saw up on Universal City Walk, "Through these portals past the most beautiful girls in the world." Tragically, on June 17, 1948, Earl Carroll and Beryl Wallace and 41 other people were killed when the plane they were on from San Diego to New York sadly crashed into a hillside in Pennsylvania. In 1953, the Earl Carroll Theatre was reopened by Las Vegas showman Frank Senz as Moulin Rouge. There was also a popular TV contest show called Queen for a Day that was broadcast from the Moulin Rouge during part of the show's 1956 to 1964 successful run. From late 1965 to 1967, the theater became David Hull's Hullabaloo, celebrating the success of the TV show Hullabaloo. In 1968, and for just a few months, it became the Kaleidoscope, which featured many West Coast rock bands. One of the bands playing there was The Doors. Later, in 1968, the theater became the Aquarius Theater and was home to a long-running Los Angeles production of the Broadway musical Hair. And sometimes on Monday nights when the musical Hair had their day off, the theater was used for rock concerts, and so the Aquarius is famous as the place where the Doors performed on July 21st, 1969, making this live recording.
You know the day destroyed the night. Night divides the day. Tried to run, tried to hide. Break on through to the other side.
It's also been called the Longhorn Theatre, the Sunset Boulevard, the Star Search Theatre, and then briefly in 1993, the Chevy Chase Theatre. Some Jerry Lewis telethons were also filmed there. And finally, in the late 1990s, the name was changed to Nickelodeon on Sunset and became Nickelodeon's West Coast live-action television production headquarters, where a variety of young adult TV shows were filmed. All That, The Amanda Show, iCarly, Victor Victorious, and an excellent show called Drake and Josh. Now, see if you recognize the actor playing the plumber in one of those episodes. Man, what is stuck in this drain?
No! Don't touch the drain! There are monsters in there!
Yeah, good call, letting her see that movie.
Here's the problem. You had a beef rib stuck in there. No, that's pork. Yeah, that'd be pork.
If you said Clark Gable, thank you. On September 25th, 2019, Thaddeus Hunter Smith, a former owner of the nearby Fonda Theater, and his business partner, Brian Levian, announced that they had signed a 10-year lease, quote, with the intention of not only restoring the building's original facilities, but also transforming the site into an entertainment complex with spaces for concerts, stage shows, movie premieres, and other specialized events, according to a quote from the Architect's newspaper. Unfortunately, the latest update I have is that what was the Earl Carroll Theatre is again up for sale. Here's what the theater looks like today. The 1969 Aquarius facade mural that Quentin Tarantino had repainted for his film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is still on the building, with a touch of graffiti. Thank you so much for watching Hooray for Hollywood. My name is Wayne Yorke, and it's a wrap on the Earl Carroll Theatre. We'll see you on the next one.